Hey everyone, Victor Stark here. Just a heads up, in case you couldn't tell, I have started testosterone and my voice has started dropping. Now, the good news is I have recorded all of my lines through the rest of the series. I did so before I started testosterone, specifically so that they wouldn't sound different. The bad news is, for some reason, my audio was really crunchy in these next two episodes. I don't know what happened, I don't know why, and I don't know how to fix it. So I am re-recording these right now as soon as I finish recording this intro. So I may sound a little different, please bear with me. But, this is a podcast about demons and vampires and stuff, so, I think we can suspend our disbelief a little bit.
How have you been doing?
Fine.
Do you think you're ready to talk about the night that you called me?
No.
You don't need to feel ashamed or anything.
I'm not. I just don't want to talk about it. I told you everything. There's nothing else to say.
Have you told Christine and Henry?
No. They don't need to know.
Victor...
What? I'm just supposed to tell them everything, guilt them into never wanting to leave me alone? It's not their problem to worry about me. They already do that way more than they should. I don't need to add anything else on top of that.
It's still good to talk to someone about that sort of thing.
Oh, isn't that what I'm paying you for?
And here I was, thinking that this was court-ordered. I'd like to talk about the incident in Christine's car.
Cool. I wouldn't.
Okay.
What are we doing right now?
Well, if you don't want to talk about anything, I figured we'd just sit here in silence for 45 minutes.
I mean, there's not really much to say about it, is there? Some creepy stuff happened, my dead friend's voice started playing on the radio, I freaked out in full view of people I work with, I had a breakdown over it. It happens.
Victor, you tried to...
It happens.
But it shouldn't happen. You don't deserve to feel that way. You said you didn't tell your friends. How did you explain where you were for 4 days?
I told them I just needed to get away from everything for a while. Clear my head. So, not technically a lie.
Victor...
Look, someday, but not right now. We've got enough going on with Mom's journal and Justine and Laura, everything.
And what about your other little problem?
Eric? I know you haven't seen him, but believe me when I say that he is not a very little problem in any sense of the word. He's been MIA. No sign of him. Not that that means much. He's good at that, staying just out of sight. I'm starting to accept that he could be watching me at any moment and I'd have no idea. Which, okay, before you say anything, you don't know him like I do. It's not paranoia. I mean, he had people convinced he was a ghost for years. When I say that he could be anywhere, I mean he could be anywhere.
How's Christine doing knowing that he's in town?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah. Hasn't said anything to really suggest otherwise.
Okay, but you have to remember, not everyone is as vocal about their problems as you are.
Still, I think she'd tell us if something was wrong. And I like to think I know her well enough to be able to tell.
If you say so. Still, though, it couldn't hurt to check up on her every so often. I'm sure there have been plenty of times where you wish someone would have checked up on you.
I guess, yeah.
How's your research going?
Bad. Yeah, we've made no progress. I mean, none. And I can only try to talk through everything to Christine and Henry so many times. I'm just repeating myself. And like I said, they've got their own lives.
What on earth?
Do you need to get that, or?
No, we're in a session. Whoever it is, they can wait.
I'd prefer not to, Doctor.
I'm sorry, but...
I mean, if you need to, I don't mind,
I think he'd like to hear about this as well, wouldn't you say?
Okay, starting to regret this decision.
I'm sorry, this is completely against confidentiality. I really need you to...
We need to talk about Mr. Morgan, Doctor.
Not now, we don't.
Dr. Walton, please. This is obviously important.
More than you know.
Ominous. Who are you again?
We talked to the coroner this morning. They called it a mountain lion attack. Fucking bastards.
Well, if that's what they're saying, then...
Then we know someone there doesn't want to admit the truth.
I'm so lost.
Do you want to tell him, or should I?
That's not really the format here.
Dr. Walton, please.
I had plans to meet up with some old friends from high school last week. Hugh Morgan and William Harker. The three of us were together back then, but over the years we've sort of drifted. Nothing out of the ordinary. We just had our own lives to live. So when they told me that they were going to be in the area, of course, we planned to spend some time together. Get dinner, maybe a few drinks. The only problem was, it was my sister's birthday, and I'd already promised to go visit her and her husband. They said it was no problem, and that we could meet up later. I would spend the day with my sister while they went hunting, and we would meet up at the cottage they were renting up in Creekview. It was fine by me. I never did like guns. My sister and I wrapped it up around 5 o'clock, and I headed over to Creekview right away. I'm not sure if you've ever been up there, Victor, but it's more or less isolated. 20 minutes away from the nearest grocery store, nothing but farmland and forests. I pulled up to the cabin and knew something was wrong immediately. William always hated to be late, so I'd assumed they'd be back long before I got there. But all the lights were off, and there were no sign that they were around. I called them, and service out there was spotty at best and non-existent at worst. I waited for an hour before I finally bit the bullet and went out searching. I am not a brave man. I won't deny that. Needless to say, I started getting pretty much scared every single minute. The entire time, it felt like there was something watching me, just outside of sight. Ever so often, I could swear that nearby a tree or a bush moved, but I never saw another person or an animal that would have caused it. I searched for hours, half because I was terrified for them, half because I was hopelessly lost. By this point, I was long past wishing I'd just gone back into town to call the police. It was the middle of the night by the time I finally found them, completely perchance. They were standing just outside a small clearing, and Hugh had his arm out as if he'd just blocked William from continuing forward. I called out to them, but they both frantically gestured for me to stay quiet. This is what did it, I think, even in the dark. I was able to see the grass clearing start to move, as if something was running through it. Hugh started shouting how the damn thing followed him, that he fell, and at first I thought he was having a seizure, but then I saw the wounds open up, I saw the blood, and nothing else. He was dead in seconds. That's when this guy...
Hi.
And some woman... Your mother?
Not exactly.
He and some woman popped out of nowhere and started shooting out what looked like empty air. But the sound it made was like nothing I've ever heard. Nothing I ever want to hear again.
William Harker is a friend of ours. We've worked with him quite a few times in the past. When he told us that Mr. Morgan had been talking about something following him, we knew that it was more than likely in our line of work.
And what's your line of work?
Same as yours. The bizarre, the unexplained. He got lucky. We just happened to be in the area for another job.
So, you're a monster hunter.
Suppose that's one word for it, yes.
The name Vordenberg mean anything to you?
To me, no. But I might know someone who may be familiar with it.
Who?
We'll get there. I just came to give an update. Mr. Frankenstein, good to finally meet you.
Wait, what do you...
William's back up in New York for a while on a job. Asked me to give you his love, Dr. Walton. Now, sorry to just pop in and pop out, but we've got a guest at the moment. Don't want to be rude being away for too long. We'll keep in touch.
Can I at least have your name?
Afraid someone's already beat you to it, Doctor.
Okay, that was weird even for me.
It certainly was. Who's Vordenberg?
I honestly have no idea. We've been looking for them for a while now. It's tough, we don't know much about them. Christine can find information on anyone, but even she's coming up empty when it comes to them. All we know is what was on the videotape. Just that they knew my mom. They worked together, I think? Not for long, it didn't sound like. Given the context, I'm starting to think that they were some sort of vampire hunt.
Victor, you okay?
Oh, shit!
Is it ready?
Yes, I hope.
She'll be pleased to see you again.
You think so?
I know it. All the years I've known her, and I've never seen her care so deeply about anyone.
But it's been so long,
For you, perhaps. For us, it's been hardly a moment.
She'll remember me, then.
You're not easily forgotten.
Now?
Now.
Thank you, Ruthven. That was getting awfully boring.
I can imagine, ma'am. Though I can't take all the credit.
Oh?
And I have brought you a gift of sorts.
Is that so? And what might that... Laura?
Hello, Carmilla.